So I've been waiting for a while for this to come out. They are here finally. I'm gonna do a short bench review for you guys here, and afterwards I'm gonna go on the field and compare it with the old generation, the 100C version of this, and then at the end come back with some conclusions, some first impressions, and on long term, maybe on the Facebook groups, we're gonna keep in touch and see how they behave. I've been running the 100C version of the OVONIC in the 2020 season, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it, and for the price, it's such a good price for what performance I get out of them. Sure, on our side, on the racer side, batteries won't last so long as for the freestylers because we push the limits pretty hard and we really need those C ratings that producers put on the packs. So far my experience with OVONIC was actually great. I like them, the weight was pretty okay. I'm gonna do also a weight comparison. So I'm gonna do a few specs comparison between the old generation and the new. So the other ones were 1300 and these are 1200 milliamps. And we're gonna see if in flight time I'm gonna feel a difference in power, in even in resistance and durability over time. But for that we're gonna have to keep in touch on a longer term. So long story short, let's open this up. This is a genuine unwrapping video. So this is the first time that I'm actually seeing the battery itself. You get the instructions. Another thing you get here, it's the OVONIC logo. It is the OVONIC logo, and the nectar juice itself. As we got used from OVONIC, you got two PVC heat shrinks, so this will protect better the battery. And first things first, the weight. Okay, let's move it a bit. Wow, so I'm pretty impressed actually. Let's just be sure this is right. Okay, so I'm getting 208.7 grams compared with, let's say, the old generation. This is the 100C, which is 223. Okay, so already we got on the first impressions are pretty good. The form factor, it's a bit different. If I compare it again with the 100C, this is more like a square. This is 38 by 37, so it's pretty much a square, yeah. Where this one, it is 46 by 35. The biggest thing that I'm in love with this design, the cells, they are protected by a very thin aluminum and lightweight aluminum sheet here, which is awesome because this really protects the battery. I don't have a price here. I'm gonna put maybe a link to the store. By the way, big shout out to Francisc Fpv for hooking me up with these packs for my Romanian friends or the Romanian pilots that knows him. If you're in need of lipos, I recommend you to contact him. And of course, as OVONIC goes, I can just say that I'm recommending this to at least just try it. Buy one, two, I don't know, and just try it for yourself and see. As for the 120C, the new version of the OVONIC, I'm gonna come back with some opinions and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm out here on the field. I'm just about to do my test flight with the new OVONIC, the 120C version, and I'm just gonna go quick over my setup, and then I'm just gonna go out and fly and maybe comment a bit over my flight if I can, and if not, I'm just gonna come back with conclusions at the end. So of course, for the battery, I'm gonna use the new 120C OVONIC, the 1200 mAh 6S battery. For the frame, I'm gonna be using the Switchback old generation. For the motors, I'm gonna use T-Motor F60 PRO IV V2. These are the 1950 kV version. For the stack, I'm using Fettec 45 amp with the Fettec FC. and on top I'm using the TBS Unify Pro Nano. This is the 32 Nano 32, the V1.1 version, and for the RX I'm using the Nano Crossfire. For the camera I'm using the Foxeer Predator 5, and for the antenna I'm using the TBS Triumph Pro. And I think I cover pretty much everything. And yes, for the props I'm gonna use the 51-43 3x3 from Gemfan. By the way, I forgot my bag with the props at home, so these props are pretty beat up. The quad, it may sound horrible, but nevertheless this will not matter for the battery. It's close to dark outside, and I'll be in a hurry with this. I'll just do some fast passes, some tight turns to see how the battery sags, if it sags at all, and maybe the flight duration. I will compare it with the V1, with the 100C version. My fingers are just super freezed, so I'll not be able to fly too hard, but I'll do my best. I have DVR. Just a bit of warm-up. A little oopsie there. So I for sure can say that I don't feel the sag. I'm gonna look on the DVR home, but I don't feel the sag, and I feel the power, the battery delivers when I ask for it. I'm gonna do a fast pass here. Whoa, super nice. So power on demand, no worry about it. Oops.
Stunt mode on. System on. Ready to fly.
So at this point I'm pretty much just done, because one prop exploded. Because I don't have the spare props with me, I will not be able to fly it no longer, but I think you already saw. For sure this pack will deliver with no issues. So as sag goes, I will have to check the DVR home just to see how the voltage went up and down. But from what I felt, and of course in comparison with my old 100C packs, it is night and day difference. I feel the power, it is constant. Either I go above 90% throttle, or I go from 50% to 100% for a few seconds. I don't feel the battery gives in or gives out. I have to say that I'm pretty impressed. This is the 1200 milliamp hour. I wasn't able to finish it, but maybe I'm gonna fly it and compare it more with the 100C and see how the flight time goes. But from what I felt already and where the voltage sets on this one, I can already tell you that as flight times goes, this is not going to be an issue. 1.5 minute track, you will be able to finish the track, no issue with a light build and with this pack. If you wish to have more capacity on board and stay maybe more in the air, there is also the 1300 milliamp hour. I'm gonna try that also, by the way. But what can I say now is that I just recommend you to try it for yourself. Maybe try 1 or 2 packs just to see how it feels. But for sure, at 208 grams, this is practically a little beast. It's gonna deliver, no doubt. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here anymore because it is super cold, and I'm gonna see you on my next one. Bye.